Maybe you recently picked up the Chishiro the Shattered Blade Precon from your local game store, but you're still a bit confused on what that modified clause is in Chishiro's text box. This video will hopefully explain. Modify was introduced in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. It's used to group a bunch of keywords together to make reading it a bit easier. Just as we never look at the rules for flying because we know what it does, Modify helps us understand what it does just at a glance. Chishiro the Shattered Blade's second ability says, at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each modified creature you control. Let's say we have 3 of those 2/2 red spirits on the battlefield under our control. One of those spirits is equipped with Ninja's Kunai, one spirit is enchanted with Bear Umbra, and one of our spirits has a +1/+1 counter on it. Each of these spirits is modified. So on our end step, we'll put a +1/+1 counter on all 3 of those creatures. Chishiro doesn't have anything on him, meaning he doesn't get the counter because he's not modified. So what if our opponent casts a pacifism on Chishiro? Does he become modified? On our next end step, we'll place another counter on the same 3 creatures. Notice Chishiro doesn't get a counter. Creatures are only modified if they're enchanted by an aura we control. Something seemingly confusing is that if a creature is equipped even by an opponent's equipment, it's still modified. Bloodthirsty Blade is one such case. It attaches from an opponent's board to Chishiro instead of pacifism. On our next end step, Chishiro does indeed place a counter on himself. Now let's look at the keyword counters from Ikoria. Bootnipper enters with either a Death Touch or a Lifelink counter on it. This immediately makes it modified. Any sort of counter will cause the creature to be modified. +1/+1, -1/-1, Death Touch, etc. One last thing we should note is that creatures like Kumena's Speaker are not modified. It does get +1/+1, but that +1/+1 is not physically on the creature. Cards like Glorious Anthem are also like this. It changes the power and toughness of the creatures, but does not modify them. Reminder: modified creatures are equipped, enchanted by an aura we control, or have any type of counter on them. I hope this clears up modified for you. What rules are you struggling with? Let me know in the comments below, and send me an email with your deck list to manfredplusmagic@gmail.com, and I'll take it and make it your own custom video for your commander deck. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all next week for your weekly dose of magic. To support this channel, visit the TCGplayer affiliate link in the description below. And if you want to support the channel directly, visit patreon.com/manfredplusmagic. As a patron, you'll have access to the community Discord where you can talk with myself and other friends about all things magic. And you'll find even more benefits for each tier, starting at $1 as a copper.